Have you ever felt like everything fell apart? That your plans collapsed and you were ready to give up? If so, stop right now and listen to this. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. These words, spoken by Henry Ford, are not just inspiring. They are a survival guide for anyone who has ever fallen while trying to win in life. Because failure, contrary to what we were taught, is not the end, it's the beginning. And in this video, you are about to discover how every fall can become a stepping stone to climb higher than ever before. Picture yourself in the middle of a major project, investing time, energy, and belief. Everything seems to be going well until suddenly it all collapses. That feeling of helplessness, frustration, the urge to give up. It's in that exact moment that many walk away. But that's where Ford's quote comes to life. Henry Ford, the man who revolutionized the auto industry, also failed. He bankrupted companies, had ideas rejected, and was discredited. But instead of quitting, he chose to restart with more intelligence. He treated failure as a practical lesson, an intensive course in what not to do again. That mindset made all the difference. Failure is a tough school, but absolutely essential. When we fall, we're forced to look honestly at what led us there. It's not about romanticizing struggle, but recognizing that every failed attempt carries a valuable lesson. What didn't work shows you what needs to change. And with each new start, you come back stronger, more aware, more prepared. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is simple. Successful people understand that failure is part of the process. They don't avoid it, they learn from it. Shame often comes with failure. Society has trained us to associate mistakes with weakness. But think about it. The greatest inventors, artists, and entrepreneurs all failed at some point. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney was fired for lack of creativity. Oprah Winfrey was considered unfit for television. What do they all have in common? They fell and got up smarter. Like Henry Ford, they understood that failure isn't a full stop. It's a comma, a redirection, a disguised opportunity. And when we talk about beginning again more intelligently, it's not just about technical knowledge or new strategies, it's about emotional maturity. You learn to manage anxiety, face criticism, and persist without applause. Failure builds resilience. It teaches toughness. And believe it, this ability to keep going after a fall is one of the most valuable traits a person can develop. Because it doesn't matter how many times you fail, if you keep coming back with more wisdom, more focus, and more humility, success becomes inevitable. Henry Ford didn't become famous because he never failed. He became famous because he didn't quit after failing. Instead of viewing failure as a sentence, he saw it as rehearsal. He tested, adjusted, and tried again. That's how he created the assembly line that transformed the world. But this innovation didn't come out of nowhere. It was the result of many failed attempts. And that is exactly what you need to understand. Today, mistakes can be the foundation for tomorrow's breakthrough. Every failure holds the potential to become a turning point if you are willing to start again with intelligence. So if you're facing a difficult moment, if something didn't go as planned, take a deep breath. Look at your situation the way Henry Ford would. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What decisions led me here? What would I do differently now? That reflection is what turns failure into opportunity. It's not about denying pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about using that pain as fuel, about turning every stumble into a personalized lesson about yourself. The real power lies in those who rise and move on, even when the path is still uncertain. The road to success is built on constant adjustments. Nobody gets it right the first time, and if they do, they probably didn't learn as much as someone who failed in the process. Because when you fail, you're forced to question, rethink, and reinvent. That leads to more creative solutions and stronger strategies. That's why so many entrepreneurs say their greatest lessons came during the hardest moments. It was there at rock bottom that they discovered strength they didn't know they had. And it was there that they decided to start again, smarter, more experienced, more determined. Starting over with intelligence is not just a pretty phrase, it's a daily practice. An inner stance of refusing to be crushed by failure, instead using it as a springboard. It's understanding that every great achievement is preceded by moments of doubt, pain, trial, and error. And there's nothing more powerful than someone who refuses to give up. Someone who, even while hurt, keeps going. Because in the end, the difference between the failure and the winner is often just the number of times each got up. Winners simply rise more times. That's it. And that's what Henry Ford meant. Failure isn't something to fear. It's part of the journey, part of the growth, part of the process. The secret lies in how you respond. If you allow yourself to learn, if you commit to trying again with more wisdom, more clarity, more focus, then failure stops being a burden and becomes a bridge. A bridge to a new beginning. One that's more conscious, more mature, more aligned with who you truly are. And that new beginning, that's where true success lives. So now pause and reflect. What you had been calling failure might just be the chance to restart more intelligently. Maybe what you're experiencing now is exactly what you needed to grow. Maybe this fall is preparing you for something bigger. And maybe, just maybe, you're much closer to victory than you think. But to get there, you'll need to rise one more time, with more clarity, with more intelligence, and with the certainty that starting over is actually a sign of strength, not weakness.